assist already. And looked like Justice Winslow limping to the bench here. So something on the right leg, knee or ankle. We'll see about that. Keep an eye on Justice Winslow. Let's take you back to the last defensive possession by Temple, but Okafor finally getting the ball
But
deep.
you see, he had position there, but because the ball pressure on Cook was so good, it didn't allow him that angle to make it. But even this was not an easy play. But again, as a great point guard, Tyus Jones able to handle the pressure and still deliver that basketball on time, on rhythm, where Okafor could just catch and go right into his move.
Also, it helps to have Okafor to be
Well, yeah.
that size,
the hands, the ability to develop that post position. But you still, a lot of guys couldn't make that pass that Jones made there. And that's what you got to have against really good defense. You have to be so sound with your decision-making offensively. Tyus Jones put on a clinic on that possession.
Tyus Jones, by the way, this is game 4. 21 assists, 3 turnovers to get his collegiate career started at Duke.
Not bad. You know, he's just,
not to mention he's shooting about 60%.
I was about to say,
that helps
knocking
too.
down every open
He's
shot.
played almost perfect basketball. We should have like the QBR in football. We need to have that for the point guards in basketball, because he's almost playing perfect basketball as a freshman to start his career.
And Ichionia 0 for 2. And here come the Blue Devils. Jones finding Suleiman, dumps it down into Okafor. Justice Winslow on the bench with a shoe off. And there's another block. So Temple now with 5 blocks in this game. And Brown, there's a whistle. Brown will go to the free throw line. That's a cause for concern. Retaping the
that's
right
no
ankle.
concern right there. That's actually a good sign. That means he's coming back
Yes.
in. The fact he's getting that ankle taped on the bench right there, that means he will be back shortly.
Guys in the truck
Yeah,
finding where he rolled it. It's the right ankle, remember.
And I'm with GA. If you don't see him walk to the locker room, he's getting retaped.
He's coming
That's a
back.
great sign.
Brown hits the first free throw. Back in is Devontae Watson as the freshman and Ichionia will take a seat. Brown had a quick breather and then right back in. 17 points Monday against Louisiana Tech. That was a career high for Josh Brown. And the lefty knocks them both down.
And they played really well enough defensively, Duke Temple, in this first 10 minutes or so. They just have not been able to get anything going on the offensive end.
Suleiman getting these minutes occupied by Winslow as he's out. Here's Jones. And denied. Good defense there, and one and done for Duke. Devontae Watson's been active in the paint for the Temple Owls.
And this game's been a lot more physical than what we saw in the first contest tonight. Officials are allowing a little bit more activity and contact by both teams.
That was one of the areas that Coach Krzyzewski talked about with Okafor specifically, how he's going to handle a more physical college game. He obviously dominated everywhere he went in high school. Can do the same at the collegiate level, but playing a lot of games, 4 games in 7 days, and a little wear and tear. And that's Michigan State Tuesday, and now Temple here tonight, and another game tomorrow as DeCosi goes all the way high off the window. Quentin DeCosi with a basket.
It was a nice play there, Smitty, with the finish.
You know, you like what Temple is doing. Good coaching is always needed. When you talk about Fran Duffy, he's doing an excellent job having this team ready defensively.
Dump it down inside. Okafor with 10 on the shot clock. And Jefferson an offensive board, and he is hammered by Josh Brown. Okafor showed all the right moves. He just couldn't finish inside.
But Jefferson with a great job attacking that offensive glass.
Okafor 2 for 9 to start. Free throws coming up for Jefferson and the Blue Devils. You're watching the Coaches vs. Cancer Classic presented by Northwestern Mutual.
Justice Winslow. Checking in for Temple for 2, Will Cummings. 10, Mark Williams.
Temple doing all they can to keep the water behind the dam. 20-12 Duke, and free throws coming here for Emil Jefferson. This game has that feel, although Temple's playing well and Duke's not shooting that well. Good defensive effort by the Owls. You just feel like Duke can just flash to a run so quickly. Temple's got to find some offense. Jefferson, one of the captains. And Greg, you talked about the 3 freshmen, but really Cook and Jefferson, when things do get rocky, those are the 2 guys that are going to probably be the most vocal and are going to help navigate this team through the season.
And just settle you down. Remember, they really have not been in a contest thus far, averaging over 100 points. And you can see there's a little bit of an injury on Jalen Bond. I don't know if he twisted his ankle, but that's probably the same injury that's had him out. So that would be a huge loss for Fran Dunphy's group, because he really is a difference maker and a load on that front line.
Now Bond just coming back. This is his first game of the season. He hurt his ankle.
That's the difference right there. See, that's a concern when they walk to the locker room.
The difference between
he and Winslow.
Winslow back on the floor, matching up with DeCozy. And that one doesn't find the rim. And Echionia is now 0 for 3. And you're probably going to see his minutes start to pick up here with Bond out, headed to the locker room. Obinna Echionia, the freshman, will have to pick up some big minutes here.
And that was a good look. I mean, good offense, good penetration, kick. He catches, shoots it in rhythm, just unable to knock that down. But I like the overall execution of this Temple squad. They are playing as a cohesive unit.
1-1 here. Both teams in the bonus. And Williams cannot connect. So Duke basketball, 21-12 Blue Devils. 7:20 remaining in the first half.
Temple has a lot of guys with a lot of girth, GA. They don't have a lot of length, but they have a lot of guys with some girth and some base, and some guys that are physical.
The 7-footer Plumlee as Okafor sits, and a turnover for Duke.
And one of the few times you're going to see Quinn Cook with an unforced error there, because he really put Plumlee in a bad position. Had he even caught that, not really where he could be effective with the basketball. So just a bad decision there by the senior.
Williams passes it up. Dingle. Well, the Blue Devils don't give him much room to operate. And Dingle trying to create his own. Jefferson right there with him. And a block. Here's Williams in the paint, running into the trees. And now Duke in transition. Winslow, left to right, goes with the right and finishes. This guy is so impressive.
He is, and the other thing I love about him is they don't run anything for him. This is a guy, he'll go get it off the backboard and just go make a play. And he competes, as Smitty talked about earlier, on both ends.
Yes, indeed. I mean, that is just special, being able to get into the paint and finish the way he finishes.
Almost had a steal there. And Echionia again. Plumlee denies that one. Shot clock at 9. And Temple running into a mess here in this possession. Dingle lets a 3 go. He's got it. And the Owls need that one in a big way as Daniel Dingle hits the 3.
And that was actually really good defense and a really good job. First assist on the night for Temple.
Looked like another block, but right there to clean it up is Plumlee. Marshall Plumlee, the 7-footer, got shut out in their game against Michigan State. No points in 9 minutes on the board here tonight. 10-point Duke lead, Temple with the ball. The winner of this one will match up against Stanford in the championship game tomorrow. The loser will take on UNLV. Shot clock single digits. Cummings for 3. And wanting a foul. Thought he got hit on the hand, but that's an air ball. Cummings has really struggled shooting the basketball this year, and they continue as Justice Winslow impressing early again.
Doing a nice job. You talking about comfortable amongst the point guard, being able to handle, get a little shake, and then to be able to go up and finish Nice move by Winslow.
And he's so intimidating physically. Like that possession is an example. They didn't want to take that charge.
No,
they
not at all.
weren't willing to sacrifice the body. And you got that 240 coming at you full speed with bad intentions.
You got Okafor back on the floor now. Missed 7 shots tonight. His first 3 games, he only missed 5 field goals. But in 9 minutes, 7 misses is Tyus Jones. Nope. And a rebound by Quentin DeCozy. Big possession here for Temple. Down 10. Dingle hits the 3 a moment ago. Here's Cummings now, and that's what he does best right there.
How about the job of avoiding the charge there with the body control and the finish? And
Jones had a rim in and out. And was in the Owls' back pocket
hustle.
before they knew it. On the floor, Cummings saves it.
well, you talked about it, Smitty. Fran Duffy's group
Yes, indeed.
compete. And you know you're going to have to compete when you go up against a Mike Krzyzewski coach team. And
Offensive foul. That's going the other way. And guess who's right in the middle of it? Justice Winslow.
you try to take the charge on Cummings on the last possession. Cummings was a little craftier, but this time Winslow's able to get up there and just, well, that's the possession. I apologize for the possession before. That was Cummings.
Yes.
And then here's the hustle by Cummings to keep that ball alive and then retain possession for Temple.
Cummings going to have to go to the bench here with 3 fouls, 5 turnovers for the senior point guard. Suleiman on the floor with the other starters for Duke. And Winslow looking for Okafor, finds him and disrupted at the rim, but a foul. Well, nothing easy coming for Jahlil Okafor. He'll go to the free throw line. Okafor got off to that great start against Michigan State, scored 8 of his 17 points in the first 5 minutes of the game. About as impressive as you can do it to start a game. And Okafor with just his 5th point of the night. NBA Inside Stuff presented by Samsung Galaxy returns tomorrow at noon and 6:30 p.m. Eastern, only on NBA TV. It's got a little bit of a Duke Blue Devil feel, does it not?
What's
For
that?
Grant Hill.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Yes, indeed.
So 6 points for Okafor now. A couple of free throws for him. And back to a 10-point Duke lead. Temple starting point guard Cummings on the bench with 3 fouls. Josh Brown will handle the point. It's hounded by Tyus Jones.
And you see where Duke defensively forces you to catch it, and that's what they want to make you into is a one-on-one basketball team.
And Ionia went up high and came down on the back of Winslow, and that'll be a foul on the freshman. So free throws coming for Duke. Timeout on the floor. The Blue Devils ranked 4th in the country, 3-0 to start the year. Hanging out in Flatbush tonight.
You can join our team and get involved today at coachesversuscancers.org.
If he paces himself, in other words, when you get tired, you slow up a little bit, you can develop bad habits. So the speed of the game, and then understand the physicality of the game, because it's so unlike high school and what you can do and what will be done against you.
Well, you look at that Brian and Greg, and what Coach K is talking about is he's obviously a talented player. He obviously has unbelievable size at that high school level and also for college. But you start talking about teams that's gearing up for him, being physical, trying to get him off his game. But when you look at him, he's still poised. Even though he's not having the greatest game, he's not rushing, he's not asking and demanding for the basketball and getting upset with his teammates. And you still look at him before this game, going into this game, shooting 25 for 30.
Yeah.
Takes good shots. What I like about him, experience, it will come. Everybody in high school, no matter how talented you are, no matter how physical, you got to get used to the college level.
And remember what we talked about in the first game. I said you can learn so much about a guy when things aren't going well. You don't know how well he's playing or not playing right now because his activity level hasn't dropped off on either end, and he doesn't take away from how his team functions, even though maybe he hadn't made shots.
Well, Josh Brown carries the basketball and a turnover for Temple. And as good as Okafor has been on the floor and what he does on the floor, deserves a lot of the headlines. His backstory is tremendous. Our own Jason King, Bleacher Report, he's with us this weekend here. He wrote a fantastic story on Jahlil Okafor, and you really get to understand what he's all about as T. Jones knocks down a three.
Recognizing basketball situation for a young guy to see the double team coming and to make that pass in the air out to Tyus Jones. That's a beautiful basketball play by Okafor.
Jones has been distributing the ball, gets the favor returned to him. Jones with 5 assists already tonight. And he's working on Brown, who goes with the left. Great take there. Josh Brown with the starting point guard Cummings on the bench with 3 fouls.
Yeah, he's one of those guys in the scouting report. Coach tells you he likes to go left, but he's so herky-jerky. It's just hard to guard guys like that because it's unorthodox.
That's a great point. It's one of those players where you know he's going left. He knows you know he's going left, and he still can get there.
And the coach is mad at you, saying, take away his left hand. That's just a beautiful move by Brown, getting into the paint and scoring it.
Foul is on Brown. That's trouble now for Temple. That's both of their point guards with 3 fouls. As Justice Winslow misses the first free throw. So Brown has 3, Cummings has 3. Temple doing all they can to kind of hang in here, but it could get away from them quickly.
It could, and the problem with 3 as opposed to 2 is even when you get to the second half, you still can't be as aggressive in the first few minutes because you don't want to pick up that 4th. So it's going to affect how you defend and really, when you play Duke, how you play offensively because they're so good with the help D.
Cummings out in front of the pack and a great pass. DeCosi dropped it right in the bucket, and a foul as Cummings will go to the line and a chance at 3.
How about the recognition there? One of the few times where Duke just fell asleep defensively in transition there, and a great find, as you mentioned, B.A. there, by DeCosi for the opportunity of the 3-pointer.
Cummings right back in the game with the 3 fouls, and on the breakaway makes it a 3-point play. Cummings has been hitting a lot of free throws this year. Neil Jefferson is back in. Winslow will take a seat.
Great sign for Temple. Jalen Bond is entering the game for the Owls.
Bond went back to the locker room. Looked like he twisted his ankle, tweaked his ankle a little bit, and came back shortly thereafter. Now back in. Okafor draws the double team. Suleiman finding Emil Jefferson. Boy, that's great look basketball by the Blue Devils, and they're up 12.
Yeah, I think that was Matt Jones there on that penetration there, partner, for Jefferson, and was a terrific find, though, for the finish.
DeCosi going strong on Okafor.
Chest to chest, and being able to take that bump against Okafor and finish. That's nice.
Watson one-on-one with Okafor. Now the double comes, and with the left, Jahlil Okafor.
Remember Seth was talking about earlier of watching how Okafor is going to catch and set the defense, not be in a hurry to go read the defense and see what they're going to allow you to do and then make your adjustments accordingly. That was a perfect example there on that possession. And then they forced the turnovers through the Blue Devils. You see, he waited. He saw the defense wasn't doubling right away, and he had an opportunity to attack. And nice first step there and a beautiful finish by the big fella.
Duke up 12 with the ball, under a minute to go in the first half. Immediately drawing the double team. There's Jones for three. Tyus Jones, a little strong. Offensive board. Okafor short. And it's pulled down by Devontae Watson. There's been a presence in the paint.